I know what we're gonna do. If you love this app, and you have loved this app for 4 years, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start over. We're gonna go back to 2020 TikTok. We're gonna do everything we did back then and better. Hear me out, this is good. Yesterday, when TikTok was coming back online, right before it came back online, I heard "Make America Great Again." Hold up, that's not what it is, I promise. Me and my spirit guides are a lot like me and men when men are trying to flirt with me and I'm not picking up on it. They're constantly trying to say stuff to me and I'm just like, living my life, not paying attention and just blowing them off. This was a case of that yesterday. I was like, make America, what? No. Then I heard, "For real this time." I was going over it in my head already and I was just like, no, we've been down that road. America was never great, stop it. For real this time. I just got it this morning over coffee. In fact, it was a mutual of mine who's a therapist talking about trauma bonding. I'm gonna tag it in the caption. If I forget to tag it, her name is Hezi Helps. I'll try to remember to put it on the screen too. But she's talking about trauma bonding, and that's where we're at. We've been trauma bonded with our abuser. So all my friends in the abuse community, we need to go back to the beginning and start talking about this again. Because here's the thing. This is what I've been pondering the last 48 hours. Number one, the reason they had to steal this app was because they couldn't control it. They couldn't control us. This mindless, brainless, capitalist app, we turned into something incredible. We turned it into a tool for change. They couldn't have that. They had to shut us down. So we're not going to be able to speak freely on this app for very much longer. Our content will be suppressed. And the MAGA people are all over this app already. We just haven't seen them because it's not part of our algorithm. The algorithm has decided this is just not something we want to see. So we've had a false sense of security thinking they're not out there, but they are. They're everywhere. I've had them in my comments and in my DMs this week. Here's the thing. They're trauma bonded to their abuser. You know all those women who've been in my comments over the last 4 years defending their abusive husband? All those women who said, "Not my guy, he's great. You're describing something else." I've spoken to thousands of these women. I've reached some of them. Not by chasing them or pushing them into believing any of this, but by continuing to show up every day talking about it. I had women in my comments last week on that other video I made about my story who said that they were not on board with me in the beginning, and they now are. I've even had men who have previously abused their wives have repented. I feel incredibly blessed when they take a minute to reach out and confess it to me. I did not think I'd get emotional over this, but I think for those who feel called, we have a big job in keeping people out of abuse. But we have to be smart about this. We can't talk about politics. We can't name the abuser. Now remember, I've talked about for 3 years that we want to talk about what happened to us. We're not going to attack or blame the abuser, right? We're just going to describe our feelings and our experiences and what was done to us. We're going to share our individual experiences, and as a collective, our voice will be strong. We have to be smart and creative, crafty, shrewd, wise as serpents, innocent as doves. The night of the election, before we got the results, 3 a.m. my time, 4 a.m. club, I heard a message in the middle of the night that just said, "It's not over." Tried to figure it out. All I know is that whatever was happening at that time was not the end of anything. We need to carry on the work that we're doing, the work we've been doing all this time. I also felt called back then, and I wanted to throw up, but I felt called back then to speak to Christians and even MAGA. This is a very unique cult that many of us who are ex-Christians, deconstructed Christians, we understand it, right? As victims of this particular abuse, we have been positioned perfectly to take up this task, if you are willing. If any of this is resonating with you, even if you have never made content before, start now. If you have the courage, you don't have to talk about anything going on in the world today. Just talk about your own experience. Tell people who you are and what you've been through. Because I can tell you from my own experience these last 4 years, when something you say resonates in the slightest with someone out there watching, it can change their entire world. It can change the scope and the trajectory of their life. One video can wake someone up. I'm excited. I'm actually excited, guys. we've got a real shot at this, but it's going to be harder than it was the last 4 years. So stick with me, because I've been through it. I've already done this. I have gone up against these men, in particular, MAGA men, for 4 years, thousands of them. They'll report your videos, they'll report your comments. Be kind, be good, and stay in a mode of love, stay in an energy of love. This is what we've been training for. If you're with me, drop a comment. If you're not, hang tight. You will be.